actually something that got me curious is I find it very hard to teach English just in English. How about you guys? Do you have like any hardships on your own?
I think the communication outside of class is what's crucial for a great class and great course. And the class takers can communicate either with me or with the manager outside, one-on-one and in person. And during that time, he or she can express what they actually want and need, and also they can give us very honest feedback on both the previous classes or upcoming classes as well.
And just like my boss said, we can take advantage of our systems such as background survey that is handed out to our class taker beforehand, so we can know about their class needs and what are their interests are, and also they can choose what kind of class that they want to have, like what kind of teacher that they want to have. So I think
the types of teachers, right?
yes, even though the types of teachers, so it's really helpful.
Right, and one more thing. Sometimes I feel the class takers want to say something, but they're not really able to form the words. What would you say is the most efficient way?
I think, in my case, I speak their language, which is Korean. So it is easier for me to figure out where they stuck it because I understand the Korean grammatical structure and also English.
I think people who are not yet fully accustomed to, kind of like a syntax of English tend to think what they want to say in their first language in their head and then translate it into their second language, in this case English, and then translate it back to Korean and then figure out what they actually mean and then teach them the correct way of putting it in English, the second language.
Also, sometimes their pronunciation seems a little bit off.
So actually a few days ago, one of my students asked me the same question. I just had to break it down for him. So once you get used to the mechanics of your mouth, so you just you just get used to it, and then but then also I need to compare Korean kind of equivalent sound and English equivalent sounds and stuff like that.
What tips would you give me for business English course based on your understanding of Korean work environment?
So my tip is, we have the dynamics of certain people hold a certain titles as someone who are boss, and someone has a title like a team leader.
Like elderly or something.
Yeah, something like that. So it's good to know, to address to those people, know what kind of the language you have to use. Sometimes you have to show more respect. So we kind of understand the culture norms. Oh, does that person hold a little higher position than you? You can give the tips, more expressions that's more respectful in English.
You have to use different words to get your nuance through a little bit better, depending on who you're talking to, right? First time, I teach them how to small talk, because in the Korean social culture, you don't really do a lot of small talk. And then when they stumble upon just international students on the campus, and they sit at the same table, oh, so what did you do? Blah, blah, blah. They ask a series of questions and they have absolutely no idea what to say. And they can't even talk back. So the silence falls and then they feel very, very awkward, and then their confidence drops and stuff like that. So it's not just a linguistic thing.
Okay, so anyways, for the last question, what's the most important attitude for learning in English?
I definitely want to say be brave to everybody who's learning English as a second language, because I'm noticing a lot of class takers are too afraid to say even just a word. But just try and just throw any words that comes to their mind, because the correction begins like after when they are able to make sentence, and you know, when they're actually ready to take the compliment and any correction and any criticism, and they're actually able to learn and move on.
I remember my first question being about teaching English in two languages and its difficulties. But it seems for you guys there's only advantages. How does that work?
Yeah, actually.
Alright, so this was our interview. I hope you learned from this. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye.